Pickaxe.
ビデオゲームアウトサイダーズウィーブエピソードが始まります。
5, 4, 3, 2, live from Tokyo, Osaka, and somewhere trapped in a place. Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 912 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison, gamertag Coastal Michelle.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson.
And I am Ryan Ryanson.
All right, here we are.
That sounds like a Simpsons character. And I'm Seymour Butts.
I'm Ryan Ryanson.
Yes. All right, well, tonight we have our third annual Weeb episode.
Are you sure we could do this? Because I'm shaking.
Oh, that's
Why are you
right.
shaking?
Well, John, you should confess. Let it out. I know you've been very troubled, okay?
Well, all these layoffs, I don't know if I could do this. I mean, Forever 21, they laid off a lot of people. And
right. Are you going to be able to get through this show? Because, these sad grown men crying on the internet because other dudes got fired at a game company. Like Ryan McAfee, today again, he was very troubled. He said, I don't know if I could do my podcast tonight. Here's a picture of my dog to pick us all up
These
a little
guys,
bit.
they won't speak out on natural disasters or anything,
right.
But they will go to extremes. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't know if he can make it through. He doesn't want to celebrate his podcast anymore. So Ryan McCaffrey, bro, if you're out there, stop crying like a little bitch, okay? Because it's a bit much. Every day, everybody is crying about Xbox and are they profitable? Are they not profitable? Microsoft laid off some people. Look, Intel just laid off people. UPS just laid off people. I didn't see you guys crying
Forever
about
21.
that. Forever 21, let's not forget that, okay?
That's the one I'm most concerned about. They got, great fashion
Opti in the chat says, let them mourn. No, you guys shouldn't be mourning this. If you lose your own job or your family is impacted, of course you mourn. But you don't mourn for strangers publicly for, pats on the back. That's what they're doing. They're like, contact me. Please tell me your story. I'm here for you if you need me. My DMs are open. Okay, if you've ever typed my DMs are open, jump off a bridge. All right, look, before I get anybody in trouble, because it is the Weeb episode, we don't want to talk about, anything dark.
I'm very excited.
There's going to be a lot more to get in trouble for tonight.
That's right. I did play some stuff that might get us all in trouble or watch some stuff that could get people in trouble. But that's the fun of a Weeb episode. So, of course, we are live right now on twitch.tv/John and Michelle. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. If you miss it, you can listen anywhere podcasts are, as well as in our Discord. Because if you support us, you get the back catalog, weekly bonus shows, and you can listen to those old Weeb episodes we did. And I know people are going to ask what they were. They were episode 882 and 837. And this is our third one tonight. They're always fun. We played Weeb games. We watched anime, movies, series, whatever. It's all going to happen tonight. So if you want to support us, head to our Discord because you can also win games from our sponsors, cdkeys.com. We're giving away Raidu Remastered. John, you talked about that a few weeks back.
Yeah, that's a great game.
You love it. So we have a copy of that for Steam from cdkeys.com to give away. We do game giveaways every week from them. You can check them out and save a few bucks.
Is that version like the Switch 2 one, whatever. It's the same as the Switch 2 one, right?
I mean, it's on Steam, but yeah, I'm imagining it's the same game
or
whatever.
Yeah, the PC one is the same as Switch 2, but there's a big controversy right now with the Switch 1 copy that is a downgrade, but the entire game is on the card, John. Whereas on the Switch 2 version, it's just a key card. Yeah.
So, but it runs
but it's
better.
A better version.
Well, because it's better hardware, right? Wait,
pick one. You know what I mean? Pick one. Pick all digital or all on the key card.
Okay, it sounds like a Switch problem.
Wait, what do you say?
Steam, okay, you don't got to worry about this.
Wait. Okay, hang on. Let's unpack this. So on the Switch 2, I got Raidu, and it was a game key cart.
Key cart.
I put it in, and then I had to download the whole fucking game. Right.
Yes.
Now, are you saying if I take the Switch 1 version and put it in my Switch 2?
If you grab the Switch 1 version, put it in your Switch 2, it will be worse graphics, and it'll all be on the cart. You don't have to download anything. You don't get a choice to upgrade. You don't get an option to upgrade. They're two completely different games, but they're the exact same price.
But why would you, if you had a Switch 2, though, I guess if you already owned the Switch 1 version and wanted to revisit it on the Switch 2, right, then it's a problem, right?
But why couldn't they just fit the newer one on the Switch 2?
I mean, Microsoft does a way better job at that, right? Where it just upgrades the game for the Series X automatically in line in place.
Like PC, same exact thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's
I don't know,
Nintendo
Michelle. What do you
problem.
think?
I don't know. I mean, you guys did some Nintendo stuff this week, though. We had that Mario Kart Cup. Thank you for hosting that, Rye, and giving out prizes. So I know you probably talk about your experience
so who
with that.
won? Who won that?
So first place goes to Isopod Evil Form, and he took home the Nintendo Switch gift card. He obliterated everybody. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think Boom Tap got second, right?
Boom Tap got second, and I believe Fibo got third place. Yeah, it was fun for sure.
I watched.
I'll definitely be doing.
It was
something
fucking
again.
chaos.
Yeah, John,
okay?
you said during the stream, though, screw Nintendo, I'm selling my Switch. Maybe you'll get into why during your 10 seconds spotlight.
Anxiety.
Yeah, and then I
That's
said
right.
that. Michelle's like, "What do you mean anxiety? Huh? You're anxious?"
Yeah, you're anxious playing Mario Kart? You gotta chill.
No, I mean, listen, you're on fucking edge playing that shit with other people. Like because I played hardly any multiplayer going into this online.
Yeah, I played barely.
But you got
any
soft
online.
from playing
Actually, I played
bots,
none
John.
online.
I know it was fucking madness. Like,
I honestly think that's what it was. Yeah.
What? It was insanity, dude. That is the most chaotic fucking thing in the world. Like.
Playing against other people that know what they're doing too.
Yes.
A good crowd of them. Everybody's at the same level, and like they're not computers anymore. And
Right.
it was pretty crazy. If you were within like 5 and 18, you were just rolling around the freaking course the whole time.
Right. And what's so frustrating about it too is like I was in first for seconds at a time, and then within a half second later I'm in 18th place. Right. Like that's the whole fucking game.
Kiwi says not everybody's Matt McCarthy who's going to throw to let you win. That's true. It's like when your
Hey,
boyfriend lets you play.
I beat Ryan on the last knockout, and I was
All
happy
right.
about that.
Good for you. All right, so do we have a voicemail to play, or should we just jump right into it? How do you want to do this, John?
Do we have a voicemail to play?
I don't know. I gave it to you, and I said you decide if you want to play it or not.
Do we have that?
Did you?
Do we have a
did you
voicemail?
decide?
Do we have a
Yeah.
voicemail to play?
We do. I gave it to you before. I don't know if you want to play it or you don't want to play it. It's kind of how it works. But
yeah, we could play it.
okay, all right.
I think we should play it.
So you got that ready, John?
John, the game about the demons being merged, and you can select them and put them together in battle.
That's
is
Raidu we're giving away,
literally
by the way.
based off of an anime called Jujutsu Kaisen, or JJK for short. I know the anime episode is coming up soon. I think you would fucking love that show. You can watch it in English. The dub is fucking phenomenal. They're cussing and stuff. You'll love it, man. Love the show. Been listening for like 3 years. My name is Ryan. Ryan, I'm your biggest fan now, except that you're Canadian. So I'm really looking forward to you guys' anime show. Really looking forward to Ryan on the show. Thanks, guys.
Nice, thank you. John, did you watch, or we'll find out later?
I did not. I decided to go a different direction.
Okay,
and,
good. Well, I'm curious what you watched.
But I do want to see that because I really do like that Raidu game.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that show. A lot of my friends watch it.
Yeah, and the game.
It's one of the
but
best.
is the show directly related to it, or just inspired by one or the other? One inspired the
I
other.
think it's inspired. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like in the same, like, you know how like a lot of those Japanese archetypes are like catching monsters and what are they called?
Like demons and monsters are very popular.
Yeah, the demons
and portals apparently.
Yeah,
dimensional
portals.
rifts.
Tentacles.
Actually
and some
goes
other
in
things
with
we
my
won't get
game
into.
too. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. Let's jump right into it because I know we have a lot of stuff to talk about as well as the news later. I'm sure we'll get more into like the drama around Xbox as we teased at the start of the show. So
That's
ready?
right. Yeah, I am. Michelle, I'm excited to hear what you did. I guess you did some edgy shit.
I always like to do edgy stuff, John.
And you didn't want to even tell me what it was. You're like, no, you're not gonna believe this.
Yeah. Okay. So what if I told you there was a free-to-play game that just came out on Steam with overwhelmingly positive reviews where you race horse girls.
Horse
And
girls.
it's horse girls, but they don't look like horses, really. It's called.
Ryan, you dated a few of those in high school, didn't you?
Yeah, he's over that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've seen his fiance. She's very pretty. So Uma Musame Pretty Derby is the name of this game.
Yeah.
And you breed girls like horses. You are a trainer and you have trainees and supporters, and the supporters are like friends of these girls, and you can breed them together. So it's like the power of 3 horse girls into one. You roll for them because it's free to play. So it's a little gacha. You roll for them by scouting, and then you try to get like the best you can. And then you sort of watch these races, watch these clips, do daily logins. I played on Steam, by the way. It's completely free. People love this game. There's been a lot of funny videos out
Wait,
there.
these
on YouTube.
girls are not horses. horses, though. They're just girls.
I didn't say whore girls. I said horse girls.
No, I'm saying,
girls.
I'm looking at screenshots. The girls are not horses. They're not centaurs. They're just girls.
They're horsey. They're horse loving. I think that some of them may have tails.
They're running around a track.
They got little ears. They got like a little scruff. Some of them.
Okay,
I don't think you guys understand the phenomenon of this game. People go crazy for it.
It has so much depth that I don't get.
It has been around
Ryan.
for years. It's wild.
Yes, this is a wild world I had no clue existed.
But these girls are just racing around a track.
Yeah, they're horse girls, kind of. They have like furry thing going on, like with ears. I don't know.
But are they just cosplaying and running?
You can breed whores. No, not whores. Horse girls. It's also an anime, like you said. There are clips in the game, but like people, I started digging through the reviews, and people are like talking about all this stuff I didn't get, like layering this and doing that. And I'm like, there's so much depth. I want to try to understand this. So I did put a few hours into it. I still don't really know what's going on. I bred a few horse girls. I kept rolling for them because every day you get like free rolls. I have to admit, I did get a little angry when I got the ugly one with short, skunky hair. Like I was like, I want the prettiest girl. I'm going to get the best horse girl. Let's do this. Every day I was coming for my rolls a couple of days.
Pretty equal, like, speed?
Well, I just don't want to play as an ugly girl. Like, I don't know. Like, you're collecting like horse girls or whatever. You can train them up. So if you like one, you can train them like this one's good at long distance, or maybe this one excels at that or whatever. Ted says nobody likes an ugly Gacha?
Where you can stack, like if you get more than one copy, they get stronger.
Yeah, you level them up, and I believe you get some sort of points, right, if you already have a duplicate. I mean, it was very overwhelming. I feel like if you're willing to put the time in...
I have a question.
Yeah, hi.
So, you said you're breeding them.
Sort of.
Is there a stud?
No.
Oh. How does that work?
Well, how does a horse girl work? You don't have to think about that.
Well, there must be some stud that's
John,
right. That's
if you've listened to Kathleen Kennedy, the future is female, and AKA check me out of that future. By the way, I don't want to be around that future because there's no bridges getting built. But anyway, yeah, you breed horse girls. That's all I can tell you. They are horse girls. You breed them. There's no stud involved. You are the stud, okay? You're the trainer. I bet you're banging all of them.
So is there semen somewhere, like a big vat of semen that's in the center?
Father. I don't know about the
it's
semen.
It's not far-fetched to think they just get pregnant without any of that complication behind it.
Yeah,
when they're literally
I think they're using CRISPR. They're splicing DNA. I mean, that's already going on right now in China anyway. We know this shit's happening, okay? So maybe there's some sort of donor and you mix all their... I don't know how it works, okay? But you put them in this little grid. You pick the people you like, whatever, and you roll for this thing. And there's like a career mode or whatever. But honestly, this game was over my head, okay?
Do they auto race?
They auto race. You can change like speed and whatever. But like I was overwhelmed by all the stats and like the leveling. Like I think there's like so much depth and synergy here that like totally went over my head. It's not just a joke meme game. Like if you actually put the time in to learn it, like you're racing, it's like a high level racer, I think. And I just wasn't willing to put the time in to learn it, but I have to give it a nod. Like there's definitely some addicting quality to it of like trying to roll and doing the career mode and figuring out, okay, I beat this race. Now I need a short distance person to put here and put this person in that race. So there's a lot going on here.
People fucking love this shit.
They love it. And I'm like,
the fucking reviews are off the charts on Steam.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
It's a phenomenon that I just don't get, but I definitely respect because it's like obviously a lot of love in it. And I don't think it's like too egregious with the monetization. It seems like every day
now when you're breeding the horses
or girls, yeah.
Is there like...
Oh, yeah, they're singing, by the way. You unlock their song if they win, and some of the music's kind of fun.
So is one girl like the secretariat, and you want her to breed all the horses? Like,
I don't know what you mean by that, but they asked me in the beginning, as the trainer, are you male or female? So I feel like it was a weird question because you don't get to really see your character.
Okay, so you want one girl's genes in all your new horses you're creating. You want to keep breeding this one girl.
I don't know. I didn't do multiple breeding with the same seed. Okay,
your stallion.
I don't know. I just was like, I like her. She's got the best hair. Let's get another girl who's like not dumb.
You should
Let's
keep
put her
using
there.
Her like a secretariat, right? Like Kentucky
I don't
Derby.
Know.
That
well, you don't want to
every
run her
horse
dry, Sean. You know, you got to give her a little break. Okay, I don't like you train them. They rest. You know, you work on their charisma. I don't know. It's over my head. I'm willing to admit it. Okay, I don't have the brain power to play Uma Musami I don't even know how to say it.
For this American release, the the gacha is very generous. They give you a lot
yes.
of pulls. They give you a lot of S ranks or whatever they are, and people are happy with that aspect. So they're getting a lot of strong horses, at the beginning, which is allowing them to get further in the game.
These great reviews on a free-to-play game, you know that the monetization is spot on. It's not too bad. I mean, and I could definitely feel that with my limited understanding of the game. There was always something to do. I think it may also be on mobile, but I did play on Steam, so...
And what do they do when they're not racing? Is there any kind of
they hang
social?
out with their friends. Yeah, and they're doing all sorts of stuff. They get ice cream together.
And you do that in the game?
Yeah. You don't walk around, but you like watch little scenes or you train them. Like I was making one girl work out and then I made another girl eat. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but like I can't say there's no game here. Like there's actually a game. I just don't get what the fuck it is, if I'm being honest. I don't know what it is.
Games are weird, man.
Yeah, this is a weird game, but it's very weeby, and I do recommend looking at it if it all sounds interesting. Okay, so I also checked out very briefly Wuthering Waves, aka Wuwa, because I've heard great things about this game. It's a free-to-play game. Even though it's developed in China, it's very, very popular in Japan, and it has an anime style. So it's free-to-play, action combat, huge open world. You get a glider, some Zelda feeling to it, John, I'm sure you would say if you were playing. But the characters are very fast-paced action combat, and you swap between them as you're playing. At least that's what I'm doing so far. So it ends up feeling like, even in like where you're swapping weapons in a game because they don't share cooldowns. So that's what I was doing, with the girls. Are sort of like a weapon you're swapping to. Go to her, use her ultimate, build up, swap to the other one. There's a lot of action. Like the music starts playing. It's over the top when you're attacking. Like it's just fast. It's speedy. The world is filled with things to collect and learn and people to roll for. Once again, roll for them, train them, upgrade them, all that sort of stuff I believe is going on here as well.
Can you breed them?
Competitor to like Genshin Impact. People that like Genshin will love Wuthering Waves.
Is this also a mobile game? Like
Yes.
Okay.
Another mobile PC crossover. So in the vein of Genshin, like you said. Now, Old School says, Wuthering Waves, I have played. It's actually good. Yeah, I mean, I've seen, my friend loves this game. I watched him kill a boss or two. Like, it's, once again, pretty hardcore. Like, there's bosses and there's, like, a lot of depth. And, like, if you're looking for something free that you could play for, like, 100 hours, I think this is kind of your go-to thing in this huge open world. I just didn't love the combat. It's not really my style kind of combat or whatever. But I have to give the game a nod once again. Like, these games that none of us really play, I guess, but they're hugely popular. They're hugely loved. And
if you didn't like the combat, Michelle, you may like the Zenless. I think you did try the Zenless Zone Zero combat a while ago when it
was that the turn-based one on a ship or something.
No, this was it's another gacha, but it's not like necessarily open world like Genshin and Wuwa.
Right.
It's like you have like your little town or whatever, but the combat is incredible. It's three team combat. Like you said, you're mixing and matching, type advantages and all that. And you use an ult to build up your next character. But the combat itself, there's parrying, you're timing attacks, you're timing in your swaps. It's really cool. And they've taken that game quite far. And I've played it since release. And it's the only gacha I've ever played. Yeah,
Zig in the chat says that they have amazing combat as well. I mean, these games are real games. These mobile PC crossover games are actually real games with a lot of gameplay. And once again, with Wuthering Waves, not for me, but I respect what they're doing. I think it is a good game. I just don't really like it. And also quickly, I did check out Final Fantasy IX because they just had their 25-year anniversary. I was hoping for a remaster because it was in that NVIDIA leak, just like the Tactics thing was, and that turned out to be true, but we didn't get an announcement for a remaster for Final Fantasy IX. A lot of people were upset on the internet. Even Domino's got in on the action, tweeting, "Announce the remake already." And by the way, how do you guys feel about that with like Wendy's and Domino's and like Pizza Hut sort of getting in with gaming culture
I like
and
that
saying,
shit.
you like it?
I think it's funny.
Yeah. So a lot of people were like, hell yeah, Domino's, where is this damn remake or whatever? But Steam had it on sale for $6. I did pick it up because in the past I had watched my boyfriend play the game and I liked the story, but I didn't remember much about it and I wanted to kind of experience it myself. But what was interesting is I started thinking about if we really need remasters with mods, because there is Memoria mod and Moguri mod for this, and it gives HD textures, quality of life improvements. It like not ultra wide, but widescreen because, this was an old PS1 game. Like the difference was crazy with the mods and without them. So, like, I'm sure we're
well,
still
they
going to
can't monetize that, so no.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I was waiting around for the remaster to play. 25 year came around. It didn't come out. I bought it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Am I really losing that much because I have these mods? But you don't get, like, new voice acting or gameplay changes that maybe they would do. But I recommend if you do get this on sale for $6 because of the anniversary, get those 2 mods, Moguri or Memoria or whatever. They, like, work together. I like this game. I know it's not, like, some people's favorite Final Fantasy game because it's a bit like Final Fantasy Theater. It was like this linear kind of story with like, I don't know, like the art. I liked it. I thought it was unique just with the movement and the art. And I don't know if either of you have ever played this back in the day or now or recently. No. Okay.
It's weird. I kind of skipped Final Fantasy. I was just, I guess it was more.
I played the original couple like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I actually bought a couple of the remakes on Steam and plan to play them, but I haven't recently.
I really thought this was charming. Like, I love the characters. I love the story. I want to see where it goes. So basically, there's a princess and she ends up wanting to escape her kingdom because she doesn't want to be used as like a political pawn in a marriage. And this like band of thieves plan to kidnap her. And she like runs into them and she's like, can you kidnap me? I want to get the fuck out of here. And so it just takes you on this like chase, you know, because like her guards are chasing, but then they end up joining you to protect her, and she's running away from the kingdom. You end up in this like crazy land and you're fighting. So it's like turn-based combat, but it's some sort of like real-time turn-based. Like I couldn't really, so you're kind of like lining things up. I don't know which other Final Fantasies do this because I know Final Fantasy kind of changes the combat up like each time. So you're kind of like lining up these attacks. But you have to act fast. Like it's not, you can't just sit there and do nothing because it's like real time turn based or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if I should wait for the remake before finishing it, but I will at some point play all of this game because I do want to see what happens with it because I just like the characters and the story. And I think it was just very charming. Like there's something special about it. I don't know if I know it's a game from another time and maybe back then there was like more care put into things or whatever, but
so
yeah.
I'm sorry. I stepped away because I was trying to figure out which one I played. I played the 7 remake.
Yes. So basically why people think a remake is coming as well is because one of the old developers said this will be a 2-part thing like Final Fantasy 7 if we do it. Like they had already discussed it. So because Final Fantasy 7 remake was part 1 and 2, people are thinking this is going to be a 2-part or 2, like 2 games that are coming out like years apart. So that I would probably be interested in if they give it like that sort of remake treatment. I mean, they might completely rebuild it, but so much of the charm of this game is sort of the look of it.
Okay, this is what was confusing me because I was looking at screenshots of Final Fantasy 9 and it looked very cutesy, like the characters.
Yes.
And I was wondering if I played a game that came after it, which was more mature, but it's actually one that came before it.
This was them going back to like that chibi look that they had in the beginning or whatever. But like, it's kind of, there's something charming and fairy tale and storybook about it that just fits with the story about the kingdom and all this. Like, I don't know. There's something special about this game. I know it's kind of like divisive. Some people hate it. Some people love it. But there's a lot of love for this game. Like you go looking like up for all the comments recently for this game. It's like, this game was my childhood. Where the hell is the remake? You know, like I know this remake would actually sell. So I do hope they do it. And so I'll either take a look at it when the remake comes out.
Is this a response to maybe like Ocarina of Time or something?
Yeah, I think it came out in like
it's on the PS.
Or something.
It's on the PS1. So when did Ocarina came out? Probably around the same time.
Yeah.
Ocarina was what, 96, wasn't
it? It's like 99 or something, this game, 2000. It was like a PS1 game, right? So
98 for Ocarina of Time.
Okay. Yeah, this was a little bit after that. So it could be John. It just, I don't know. I thought it was charming. I like the characters, I like the story. I want to see through it. So I'm on the camp of kind of liking the game. It may not be the best Final Fantasy game, but I did like something about it and I respect it. So
so it came out, sorry to interrupt. It came out 2 years after Ocarina.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it for $7 and I'm like, you know what? And there's a lot of crazy sales going on right now. John, the game you played, Ni no Kuni, I know you're going to talk about in a bit. I think that's how you say it.
It's heavily discounted right now.
It's like $9 off from $40. So there's a lot of big like anime-ish games going on right now on Steam. Okay, so I did watch some stuff, which we're going to get into when we do our movie and TV roundtable. And I did take extra effort like I try to do with the theme shows. I went into a shop that I've never been in before that sells all like Japanese drinks. And we actually have like a pretty large Japanese population in Orange County, California, where I live now. There's like a Japanese university out here and there's a lot of like boba tea shops and all this stuff. I never go in. So I went in one. I was going to try milk tea, but I chickened out. And I got.
Why?
Oh,
that's
so good.
That's probably pretty safe.
I don't know what it is. Milk tea.
It's probably exactly what it is. What you described.
I don't know. I was like, it looked weird. I was like, I'm going to try Sakura tea, but I feel like this is an acquired taste. Sakura. I think it's cherry blossom. It's very salty. It's like
what's it called?
Bitter Sakura, like cherry blossom. You've never heard that word? Am I saying it wrong?
No,
this is a very, very, very pale.
Isn't she from Naruto?
Peachy. Maybe, yeah. So next time I'll have to try something else because this is weird. It's like salty flowers. I don't know. I feel like it's an acquired taste, but people seem to love it out there. Because I asked the girl, I'm like, okay, I'm like new to weird teas. What do I try? And she's like, this one's very popular. But yeah,
it's funny that you did that because I was a half inch away today from buying Kewpie mayonnaise, which is a Japanese famous mayonnaise brand.
It's really good.
And I almost bought it. And the thing is, if I would have just made and I wasn't thinking the Weeb show when I saw it.
Yeah.
I should have fucking bought it.
Drink mayonnaise tonight? What
John,
do you mean?
If you like ramen, if you like making like homemade, proper ramen with meat and egg and all that, you need that Kewpie mayo. It is so good.
Is it really? Because
it's a game changer.
Because I bought mayo tonight for my burger. Okay,
that doesn't sound very Japanese.
Well, I almost bought it because I was like, Hellman's, whatever. I'm bored of this shit.
Wagyu burger.
I should have bought the Kewpie. I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
Do it. It's good. It's a good. You don't have to just put it on like Japanese food either. You can put it on your burger and stuff.
And next Weeb show, I will do the milk tea or whatever. And we usually do one a year. This is our third, like I said. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do more than one a year if people like this still, because they really seem to. But we don't want to kill the topic. I like it because it's fresh and new to me when I do it. Like I'm always, if we did it too often, I might get bored of it. So this is kind of just enough where it's
it's a fun show though.
It's a fun show. I'm glad. Like I took a look at games I maybe wouldn't have looked at, including the Racing Horse Girls, and I had a good time. All right, so John, tell us about what you did.
Well, I played some stuff, obviously. So there was this game that I saw people talking about online, and it was like a game that came out on the first Switch. And people are saying that this is like a hidden gem. No one knows it exists. It was big in Japan. They brought it here. No one bought it. And it's a spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja, which is a game on the N64 that I played. Goemon. Do you know this, Ryan?
No, I do not. I have not heard of it.
So Mystical Ninja is a game I have fond memories of on the N64. It was also a heavy Japanese game that they decided at the last minute to bring here, and I think it's one that not a lot of people bought. I actually went on eBay, and the fucking thing.
You know what, John? Sorry, I have heard this game. I recognize that N64 cover.
Yes.
100% I have seen this.
Yeah.
Whether I picked it up renting it as a kid or whatnot, I know this game. Yes, I do.
Yeah. And so that game was like a 3D platformer I mean, I don't remember a ton about it, but I liked it. It was a 3D platformer. I know that for sure. And it had like this ninja character. And then I guess the people that were involved in that game made this new game called Bakaru. Bakeru. And so I picked it up on the Switch on Amazon a few weeks ago, actually, and I banked it. And I figured this was a perfect game. And this is a very weeby game. It's very Japanese. There's tons of Japanese dialogue. They barely translated. They did everything with subtitles and stuff. But it is exactly kind of like that game. It's a 3D platformer, kind of on rails. There's not a lot of exploration, but you're this kid that's saving the village or world, and you have drumsticks, and that's like your combat. You're right, left, and you use that to kind of string combos together. There's all kinds of hidden stuff around the levels. The platforming is good. It feels good. It's tight. I love 3D platformers, and you just go through the world. Every environment, one level is in the forest, next one's in a city, and
well, do you know what that means? Bakeru in Japanese means to transform, to disguise oneself, or assume the shape of. So, are you assuming the shape of something?
Yes, you do get these like. So right now, I have the ability to make myself small. Okay, and there's like a currency, like a mana that you pick up on the ground after you kill enemies, and once that's full, you can be small. As long as the gauge is full or has something in it, and then you can use that to go into little tiny areas and stuff. And I guess you get more of those transformative abilities later, Michelle. But yes, is that what that means? That's funny.
Yeah.
Does it
No, I
make sense
made
now?
up the definition. I pulled it out of my ass
Yeah.
live.
It looks cool, John.
No, I actually told you it's on Steam and it's on Switch. It's cheap on Switch. It's like $30, and it's 28 right now on the Switch, and it's 20 on Steam. But if you like quirky 3D Japanese platformers, there's not a lot of them out there that we see here. I totally recommend this game. I like it quite a bit. It's a little repetitive. I wish there was a little more exploration. It's like one of those games, everything's on rails. There's an alleyway you have to go down. There might be a little tiny place you can go on the side. There might be a coin just hidden there. But there's, you can't go everywhere that you see, which bothers me. I hate games that do that. Why can't I go in this grass right here? Invisible Wall. But I do like this game quite a bit. It's Bakaru. It's on sale right now on Switch. I bought it physical though. All right, and then I played, let's talk about this. So Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch Remastered. And I was just looking around for stuff to play for this show, and I saw this, and I read that Studio Ghibli was involved in this with Level 5, the developer. Level 5 made Professor Layton, and they did one of the Dragon Quest games and stuff.
Right, and Bandai.
Yeah, and Studio Ghibli, of course, that's a big thing in this house. Way back in the day, Roger Ebert reviewed Spirited Away, saying how it was one of the best movies of the year, and I imported that, and ever since I imported that DVD, that Studio Ghibli shit has taken over my house. So I know all about all that shit, My Neighbor Totoro and whatever, which is awesome, by the way.
This game's got a beautiful design to it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It looks very Ghibli.
It is. They did all the art and animation, and now this is a remastered game. The original one was on the PS3, and so this is a remaster. I played it on Steam. I actually played it exclusively on my Steam Deck on a TV on my deck, and it was beautiful. It ran at 60 frames all the time, constantly. It was locked in. Mm-hmm. And it looks like a fucking cartoon. It's almost
it does.
It's how are they doing this? It looks, you're playing a fucking cartoon.
The animation looks smooth. That's what's cool about it.
It looks very smooth.
It looks very animated. And it's on sale right now for $7 from $50 on Steam.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's what this game is. Okay, you're this kid in this wholesome village, out of a Norman Rockwell painting or something, and your mom dies. Okay, and you cry all over your stuffed animal that she gave you, and that stuffed animal comes to life, and basically there's also this other It's a Wonderful Life, in the movie It's a Wonderful Life, these angels are watching George Bailey. And they're going to help him and guide him. And these same people are watching him. And it just reminded me of that. And he's going to save the world. What are we going to do? We got to help him or not help him and whatever. And then this stuffed animal comes to life and he's like, hey, I'm going to help you get your mom back. But we got to go into my world through this dimensional portal.
Sounds like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe or Escape to Witch Mountain or something. I've heard a lot.
And he's like, listen, there's a spell book in your fireplace. He's like, what? How could that be? And he goes and gets a spell book and he's like, we gotta go find a wand. And you find a fucking wand and now you're a fucking wizard, right? Mm-hmm. And so you go into his world. And then you start battling in this RPG kind of setting, right? And there's an overworld, and then you kind of go into battles close in. You have this big giant map that you're looking at, where your character's a quarter inch tall, and you're moving around, and then bad guys hit you or chase you, and then you're in a battle. And the combat isn't turn based, but it's kind of real time / turn based. You can move around freely, but as soon as you press a button to choose a spell or an action, it kind of pauses it, and then you choose it, and then he does it. And it's very Pokemon-y, Ryan. You might actually
looks. Yeah.
All of the monsters are very Pokemon-ish, and it also
has my cart.
and it also has that whole mechanic with the elements. This one's fire and water beats that or whatever.
And it is turn-based, right?
Well, like I said, it's real time / turn based.
Yeah, sort of I think Final Fantasy IX was. That's what I was trying to explain.
Yeah, right. You move around freely, and you go up to the person, and you're hitting them with your stick, with your wand to do melee combat. But then when you go to select a spell or something, it kind of pauses it. and then you select what you want, and then it resumes, So it's like it's not like continuous. There's like little pauses in
So
between.
it's almost like that one game where you stopped at the dock. I think it's called Expedition 33.
Yes. Yeah, you're
You
right.
might like that one,
Yeah,
John.
that little
I don't know if I'll ever play
game
that.
He
I heard it's overrated.
didn't get off dock.
All right, here's the thing about this game. And by the way, you also do get familiars. Is that what they call them, Ryan? Familiar? In your
There's like a
party.
demon.
Yeah. In your party that you can control, and you can like tell them to go out, and then you kind of sit in the back, and then you bring them back inside your bag or whatever, and then they kind of heal up, and you put them back out, and then obviously you choose the right one to battle the element of the opposite or whatever against the other one. But all right, here's the fucking thing about this game. Oh my fucking God, is it slow to go? Like it took like hour and a half to get to the fucking game. Like they're so into the story. They're so into the animation.
That's a very Japanese game thing, though.
Oh my God,
There
I wanted
are
to
setups,
kill
there's
myself.
story.
Like I'm like, just can I play the fucking game? Like just let me play
Well, going heavy with like the animation and
Yeah.
relating it to Studio Ghibli is like you're almost expecting a big story and like a long lead up into all these
it's
cutscenes
too
and the
long.
gameplay and
It's
all that.
too long. Like I didn't want to play the game, to be honest. I'm like, I can't handle this anymore. Like just let me do something. Let me be free, And then I think I'm free, and all of a
You're a
sudden
big open world RPG guy.
no, and then I'm sucked into another fucking dialogue nightmare. So I don't know if I call this like some big open world RPG. So I don't know. I'm kind of a little lukewarm about this game, to be honest. I think it's beautifully executed. It's very kiddie too, I think.
It's got positive reviews. Maybe if you like these sorts of games and you don't mind story and dialogue, it's for you, right? If
It's a very sweet kind of,
well, you
I
knew
don't know.
Studio Ghibli going in. Are they hardcore and edgy? I mean, what do
Yes,
you-
actually, they kind of are a little
Okay.
bit. Like Spirit of the
At
Way.
times.
Like there's some fucking crazy shit in that.
yeah.
So yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna say that. So
Okay.
and then this solo leveling. So this is kind of a two-parter, Michelle.
Oh.
How do I handle this?
Well, you did watch some Solo Leveling the anime. You can talk about that in our TV segment. But you
But it
played
really
Solo
lead- it
Leveling
really-
Arise Overdrive, right?
Yeah. So
Another gotcha.
I'm just gonna say this. I watched the first 2 episodes of Solo Leveling on Crunchyroll, and
Very popular one that I hear about
I'll tell
a
you
lot.
what I think about that
Okay.
when we get to it.
Sure.
But boy, and then after watching that, I'm like, all right, I have to play that. There's a demo right now
Yes.
on Steam. The full game's coming out sometime this year. So after watching those first 2 episodes, I'm like, I am in on this, all in. I need to play the fucking demo now. And boy, am I glad I watched those first 2 episodes, because the demo starts at the end of the second episode. Like it literally, like it starts like on episode 3, basically. Like, so if you're going to play this demo, you have to watch the first 2 episodes, because this is exactly where this thing starts, where they finish. And so the story of this, Michelle, and you're going to think it's kind of cool. So basically, there's rifts, Michelle.
Of course. They love interdimensional rifts. in
Yes.
Japan.
So these portals have opened up, and all these monsters are coming into the world. Okay. And then in the real modern day world, these people have become like awakened. Okay. And they're like hunters. Okay. And you have like these guilds that are recruiting these hunters, and the hunters have like a predetermined level, right? S, A, and then A through E. Okay, S being S tier, and then E the lowest tier, right? And so they have a predetermined level, and so it's almost like a status thing. Like if you're an S hunter in real life, you are like, everybody wants to be you, everybody wants you in their guild, because you basically start this guild, you make a party, and then you go through the portal with like normal dudes and women with like street clothes on, right? To go battle in these dungeons and to basically close the portal so the monsters don't come into the real world. And also, you go in there to get the loot and all these resources that are very valuable in the real world, like more valuable than like nuclear energy and wind, like for fuel and stuff. So it's become a really big business going through these portals and having these guilds with these real people that go to fight, right? And so you're basically the lowest tiered guy. You're an E-tiered guy who has a big problem because your mom is sick and you're paying for your sister's college. Okay.
Oh my God, that's a lot of pressure for a man.
I know. So he's trying to hang with the B tier and the C tier and the D and the A tier guys, but he has to go on these raids because he needs the fucking loot.
Yeah.
You know, because his mom's on life support, right?
Yeah, his mom's
Is
guilt
he secretly the S tier guy, like the double S?
So this is that's the story. Okay, so remember I said they all have predetermined levels that cannot change. Okay, so he's granted an E tier, and he thinks he's stuck at it, and then at the end of the episode 2, something really big happens where he sacrifices himself. And then he basically gets rebooted like into like almost like a Matrix computer thing.
Now the gameplay of this though is very fast action combat-y with bosses. Like what's the gameplay of this game? Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm also describing the TV show. But like,
yeah, you're kind of talking about the TV show.
So he kind of gets
go hand in hand.
But what you just said though, he gets rebooted and he's the only one that can level up in real life. Everyone else is stuck at a tier. And so he's going to level up to S tier or beyond, Ryan, if there's such a thing.
Right.
Okay, so the game is fucking awesome. Like I was yes, it's my favorite of all the games I played this week for sure. And the combat. So there's like 3 or 4 classes to choose from. I did the melee one. I want to try the other ones too. But basically, it's the same thing. You form a party, you go into the dungeons, and you just do battle. Now, the combat is very light. It wasn't hard at all. You have just a bunch of different abilities. I had like a heavy attack and a light attack, which is basically driven by like the swords I have in my hand. So it has 14.3 billion views worldwide.
Yeah, like this
this
is
blew
probably
up
the
recently.
most popular anime of recent times, right? Because 14 billion. So I mean, this game could be huge.
I think it's going to be because it's fun. It's really fun, and you could do so. Basically, you're basically clearing dungeons. You're getting mana. You're getting loot. You're getting all this shit, and then you're leaving the dungeons.
And it's co-op,
and they have co-op, and also you will find in the loot like members you can add to your party that you can call in, so you're not always alone. You actually start out with one person, but by the end of it, I had like 3 people in my party, and you can call them in at any time, and then they just kind of like die, or I don't know what happens to them exactly. They run out of something, and then they go back into your bag, and they have a cooldown. Then you can call them out again.
Similar to the Wuthering Waves combat, Michelle?
Yeah, they're running around with you though, kind of like you call them out, but maybe
you call them out
to them. You're swapping them. This feels like you have a main character. And
you have the main character,
out,
and he has an ultimate ability, which is really fucking badass. He's got all these different attacks on cooldown, like 3, 4, you know. So I'm just constantly, spamming the main attack and then spamming like QEF, waiting for the other cooldowns to come. And I just had a ton of fucking fun playing this.
And you think watching the show though actually helped too? This is what I'm saying. Like when you talked about Dune last week, you watched the movies first. Like people sort of neglect that aspect a lot of the times with games. Like if a game is a part of another world, check out the other world first.
And I really mean this. If you're gonna play this demo or even the game, you have to at least watch the first 2 episodes because it was so fucking perfect for me. How the game starts off at like the first second of the episode 3. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because they don't even set it up with the first 2 episodes in the game, at least in the demo. And then after you do the dungeon, you get to the end, you kill a boss, I killed a bunch of bosses, and then you take all the loot, you go back to the main hub world, which is like this big modern, like, complex with all these different NPCs that you can talk to, and you could do crafting and level up and do co-op and all this shit. So there's a lot, it seems, on the surface to this game. I think this game's big.
Cool.
I'm in. I added to my wish list. I'm buying this game.
Nice.
And I hope
just did as well. I might have to download that the episode 1 and 2 or whatever. Watch it on the plane next week.
Yeah. This is a world I did not really know about, and like I actually fired up I told Michelle this. On deck mode, I have a cheap Fire TV, and I fired it up to play over the weekend, and it fucking pushed an ad for solo leveling, and I'm like, all right, this is meant to be.
Yeah, solo leveling is huge. I mean, Boom is saying Netmarble does about $4 billion a year. Yeah, Netmarble is huge. So if they're doing it, John, it's probably going to be a pretty big game with a lot of support. So
yeah, I'm uber impressed. My big criticism so far is When you're in the dungeon, it's also one of these on rails dungeon. You can't explore. Like you see something in the corner, you think you can go there, you can't. There's an invisible wall or something. You know, it just wants you to keep going the way it wants you to go. Like that's my only criticism. Like I wanted to explore
crossover, and sometimes they're very limited.
But yeah, I'm totally recommending that. Try that demo.
Okay. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Budweiser Zero.
All right, Ryan, what did you play or what have you played in the past that you think is weeby?
Right on. Okay, so this week I was looking forward to playing this game called Outrider Mako or Mako. And it's kind of got a blend of multiple different genres in it. What really got me at the beginning was the art style. This art style is, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a buttery smooth, like pastel cartoon art style, very Japanese style. It's got a lot of Japanese archetypes and like tropes in it. Looks very smooth. Loved it. I'm like, okay, this looks like the top-down isometric kind of game for me. So I jumped in, and it's about your protagonist is a girl named Mako. She's transported to this world
through a dimension.
Pardon me?
Is there a rift?
Through a portal?
I believe it's a portal, yes.
Of course.
So you're brought into this world. Forgive me for my pronunciation. It's the Mayoi world, and it's inhabited by these gods, and you become this outrider. And so this is where it takes kind of a turn. You are destined to make deliveries to these gods. So you go out on these missions to farm like rocks and stones and all these different materials that you craft into a gift that you make the delivery at the end of each run to the god. And then at the end of each run, you get a seal of approval and you move on to the next one. The gameplay loop ended up becoming very repetitive. The combat, very complex, very cool. You have this stuff called red nectar that is basically like your one true item throughout the whole game. And you kind of splash this red nectar on your enemies. It's very limited, which is strange because it's like the centerpiece for your combat. So you can jump around and like pedestal on top of enemies and on top of like rocks and stuff around the map. And you splash them with this red nectar. It weakens them, it slows them, and then you can destroy them. So you're fighting your way through these very linear areas from one end to the other, coming from your home base, where you're getting your parcel, and you're like, okay, go track down this god, deliver them the package, get your upgrade, and it's that rinse and repeat cycle. That's what it was. It's a Death Stranding 3.
Yeah,
but no, it's very Japanese with the gods and the portals, like you're saying, the art style. You got a ton of Japanese stuff going on in here. Beautiful, beautiful art style. The gameplay loop's a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
The combat's awesome. It does get a little bit more deep as you go. You get new upgrades and stuff. Like if it's raining out and you splash with the red nectar, it goes away faster. So you have to, it's almost like you need that one upgrade where it doesn't, it allows you to, the red nectar to stay on the enemies for longer. I
keep thinking you're going to say redneck, and I'm like, shit, all our listeners.
I know, me too.
In the South, they're going to get mad at us again.
Wrong episode. No, so I do think it was really good. I want to play a bit more of it before I say it's good or bad. If you like these style of games, I think you should check it out. It's a good, quick little game.
Good Steam Deck game.
The common complaint is that it is repetitive.
Yeah.
And that you run out of your main source of power, which is your red nectar. But there are some interesting builds to make. It's very fun, very interactive. The story's a little bit bland. You don't really know much about your main character. But yeah, it was fun though. For the time I played, I'm going to play some more. Hopefully it does get a little bit more expansive, but from what I'm reading, it does not. So other than that, I jumped into something that I was really enjoying at first, which was a free-to-play title from, what's this company called? Amazing Season, a Chinese developer, I believe. It is Mecha Break. Mechs.
Michelle, is that Weeb? I need you to check the guidebook.
Well, no, yeah, that's what I said. Like with Wuwa, like it's a Chinese developers are doing a lot of anime games that are huge in Japan. So Mecha Break was a big topic because it's free to play. There are a lot of sexy skins that are expensive. What did you think of this game? It's like so the armored core thing.
Okay, so
game?
Yeah, the combat very much reminded me of Armored Core. I picked up Armored Core a few months ago.
Now, I don't know if you want me to say this.
Why?
So,
Say what?
well, never mind. Because I just Googled, is there a China Weeb? And
God.
Let's not.
So when you start the game
Yeah.
out, you go into this cockpit. There's a little bit of a kind of a story to do with infiltrating this planet for a resource that is dying and taking over, whatever. But there is like a total full frontal stellar blade jiggle physics character right in your face at the beginning. And you don't really see this throughout the rest of the game. Like, you do a little bit. Now, this is where it gets kind of controversial because everybody's going crazy about the customization for your character that you see for maybe 0.5 minutes of the entire game. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your one character, you have your mechs. The mechs are all predetermined. You can't change the weaponry on them. You can only change colors and all that stuff, but you have to pay for it. So combat side of things, amazing. Very smooth. Reminded me a lot of Armored Core, which I fell in love with months ago. I played the crap out of that game. The combat
that game
so
was
smooth.
awesome. That game's fun on the Steam Deck, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not try it. I didn't think it was going to run very well because it was a pretty hefty game on my PC. But
So this is kind of Robotech-y.
yeah, so it's full-on multiplayer combat online. You got 6v6, you got 3v3, you got PvE, and you're basically just ranking the leaderboards and stuff like that, like a COD lobby type thing. It's almost, you know what? I'm going to take that back. It's almost like a hero shooter because since you can't customize the weapons on the mechs, each mech has their own abilities. There's like healing mechs and defensive mechs and like sniper mechs and stuff like that. And you basically build your team with the other players around the classes that it provides for you. The only customization revolves around paint, like fire coming off the back, like all the cosmetic stuff, right? But that's where it gets iffy to me. So they're charging you a lot of money to customize the character that you barely see.
Who
and
cares
the mech
about cosmetics, though?
No, I know, but it's what's really driving the community in these mech games is the customization. So in the demo for this game, there was a lot of customization that was free. You were able to change colors, designs, patterns, all that stuff to customize your mech and I believe a bit of your character. But this game, as soon as it came out, locked all of it behind a paywall. So there is some currency that you can earn to unlock certain colors and stuff, but there is majority
I
of
can't
the
get
game
mad
is
at a
locked.
free game that you pay if you want colors. Like,
I
it
don't.
needs
I can't
support.
either, Michelle. I'm with
You
you,
know what
on
I mean?
that. Free game, if it's cosmetic only, charge whatever you want. But there are literally zero free options to change.
That's
what
okay.
Your mech looks
You're
like
playing a
from the-
game for free. What do you?
I know.
I kind of
I
agree.
thought that
I
too,
agree
but
with Michelle on that one.
And I normally agree with that too, but I honestly wanted I got
seem
that feeling.
entitled,
But
though.
if you're into the
completely
game
for
and you
free
like
and you're
it,
into it, then throw
plop
them
down
some
the
money
cash.
for skin. It's only cosmetic.
But
It's
that's
not
where
pay
it
to
got
win.
me. I normally will fork out the $10 for the
this
battle
is why
pass or-
Forever 21 people right
Yeah,
now.
like you are too entitled if you expect to play a free game like totally free and want the
Michelle, I'm
cosmetics
not
free
in
too.
that sense at all because I will gladly hand over money to games that I feel like I want to support
So then just
and I want
play
to
it
get
and forget the
those cosmetic
cosmetics.
things.
What's the matter? You're not
No,
jiggling
absolutely,
as
and
much.
that's
You're
it.
not
So
red
if
instead
you're
of
not-
blue, right? Yeah, just no going in. It's cosmetic.
But I want to
but
look
is-
cool.
but
That's
it-
the thing.
okay,
You
well,
get
that's
something.
your own
You know
fault.
what I
Yeah, it's
mean?
your
But, like,
fault. Who cares? It won't
I
impact
mean,
the gameplay.
listen, I spent $30 on fucking Jay and Silent Bob, so who gives a fuck? I love the game.
Yeah, and you
Exactly,
pay for
and
Call
I
of
spend
Duty.
money on Zenless and
Yeah.
all these other
Right.
games too because I want to support. They're free titles.
But let me ask you this question:
They all give you something for
but
free on the
are you
baseline.
getting? Are you
But you're
getting
getting a
like?
game free. You're getting
Absolutely.
a game free. So who cares what color
Absolutely.
your character's
But Ryan,
mech
when you
is?
spend the money, are you getting different mechs or just cosmetics for the mechs you already unlocked?
No, so you get a set amount of mechs. I think all of them are free except for like 2 or 3 of them, I believe.
Okay.
So there are a couple that I believe you do have to unlock, whether it's through a grinding currency or not. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I think pretty much everything is all cosmetic. But one, they're very expensive. So it was hard for me to pull out that wallet for the first time, especially because I don't know how invested I want to get into a game like this when I could just
then who
go
cares
play
what you
Armored
look
Core.
like? Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, I
Yeah.
just
So-
disconnect at that point. I'm like, if I love something, it's not even sometimes about supporting the developers. It's just like, you know what, I love this game and I want to look cool. But if you don't,
Exactly.
you don't have
But
to
that's
spend
what I'm
for
getting at
cosmetics.
is
But you-
I
but
didn't
you
like
can't
it
even
enough.
see your
Anyone
pilot?
complaining about
You can't see your
cosmetics,
pilot.
charging
Yeah.
for cosmetics for a free game, I think I never can get behind that.
Yeah.
Michelle,
So
I'm not
Ryan,
complaining though. I'm saying
No, I'm talking in general. Like there's been a lot
Yeah.
of like, negativity around some of this, some of the reviews, some YouTubers, whatever, are like, oh, look how much they're charging for skins.
The main negative point is it was free in the beta. There was no
Well, they
currency.
were
But it was a
testing
beta.
They were testing
I know.
it. Yeah.
I know. But
Okay,
they were
would you be
believe
would
that
you
it
be
was
happy
not
if
going
they
to be
charged
free.
for skins?
It's
Can you
skins.
think about if they charge for skins in a beta? How would that go over? How do you?
No,
how
it's
do you-
not the charging
exactly.
of the skins
What?
that was the issue. They've done that before, John. There's plenty of games that come out where they do tell you if you buy skins in this beta, you will get X amount money back.
Wouldn't it be better to say
in the real version
in the
of
beta
game?
all the skins are free, and so we could try
But they
them
didn't
out
do
and you
that.
could see what you like, and then but you're gonna have to
It
pay
lets
for
you
them
try
later.
them for free, like to see if you
Yeah.
like the colors. I don't
It's a
think
demo.
that's a
The
bait
fact
and
is,
switch at all.
The
It's
game
it's
didn't grab me enough to
Yeah.
make me pull my wallet out.
So
That's
Ryan,
okay. It's a
I
free
want
game.
to.
Exactly. Yeah.
I do
so that's
wanna
what I'm
ask-
saying. I didn't like it enough to want to upgrade my stuff like that. I like the game. The combat is awesome. It's very fluid, very fast paced action mechs, like exactly what you expect in these kind of games. But for me, I didn't want to take it that next step further to buy those cosmetics and stuff like that. So that's all I was saying.
I just wanted to ask a question though, because we mentioned Armored Core, which I did like and actually forgot about because I did like that game quite a bit. Is there any like offline single player component at all, or is it just?
No, not that I can tell. It's all
Okay.
There's the PvE game mode where you're like farming the crystal that ties to the story and stuff like that. But there's no single player mode. It's all multiplayer online.
But you said there's a PVE mode with other players doing it.
Yeah, so you're farming those crystals and stuff like that. It's like you go out on
Together.
a mission with other multiplayer players. Yeah,
Gotcha,
they're on your
okay.
side. But yeah, other than that, there's like a battle pass and stuff. Like I said, combat's fantastic. Like you said, if you want to throw money at it, you can. You can customize pretty extensively from what I saw, which is why I was also a bit like, well, at least give us the base colors to change, but we all look the same. And then this guy's got a big fire sword and stuff. It's like I was on the verge of like, okay, maybe I'll buy the battle pass, and then that's where it like.
But what you're
snowballs from
describing
there.
is every battle pass free to play game.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
long as it's cosmetic and not giving you an advantage, I support it.
Yeah, there's no pay to win
Yeah.
aspects here. Solid game if you like mech games. I personally would see there's not very many games out there that are multiplayer mech games that aren't like Gacha or like this, right? Other than Armored Core where you buy just the full game, but it's not multiplayer. Actually, there is one. There's like PvP, but I like Armored Core better, in my opinion.
Okay.
What was that mech game on the first Xbox?
Was it the Gundam one?
Chrome Hounds
No.
or something?
Well, that was one of them.
Yeah. Boom, I don't think it's a MOBA. There's no lanes. There's no towers. I didn't hear about the jungle. I didn't hear about any of that. There's no last
It's
hits.
more like a hero shooter. You're
it sounds more like Overwatch.
building a team composition with other people, and you're going after an objective.
Mech Assault.
Mech Assault. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Yep, I do.
All right. Well, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking the black lager from Silversmith Brewery.
All right. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Remember, if you want to support us and get the whole back catalog, weekly bonus shows, ad-free VGO, you can do that in our Discord, and we'll have some other ways in the future, but a good place is in Discord. And thank you to everybody who's been coming down and doing that. You can find us on videogameoutsiders.com.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to do kind of a round table where we talk about the anime stuff that we watched. And let's treat it like a real round table, Michelle.
Okay. Sure.
So
all right, let me start off then.
Yeah.
I thought this was interesting because I saw this video online about this movie, and
Yes.
the movie is called Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish. And
Okay.
it's from 2020, but there was a video and they were talking about how women online, for some reason, were angry about it right now, calling it the average male fantasy or fetishizing, I hate that word, fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control, a girl who is always vulnerable and always needs you, okay? Because it is about a girl in a wheelchair and a guy. It's a love story. Now, I don't know where these crazy people online are getting that sort of idea, because that was not my experience at all watching it. The guy seemed to truly care about the girl, even when she was being impossible, and he just wanted to show her the world. So I actually thought it was sweet because she's Josie. The tiger is because her grandmother told her the world is filled with tigers and is dangerous. She like keeps her locked in the house almost. And she bumps into him one day outside, and the grandmother asks him to be her caretaker, and she calls him caretaker. And She's kind of nasty to him at first, kind of sassy to him at first, but she draws fish and she is very interested in seeing the ocean because that's where she could be free. And it got me thinking about that. Like if you're in a wheelchair and you're disabled, in the ocean or in water is a place you can move freely and be free.
You're weightless.
Exactly. And so he's a diver and he works at a fish shop and he sees
Perfect.
her. Yeah, he sees her drawings and he's kind of like,
Is this like Seinfeld with the girl in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
Do any of us remember that episode?
I've seen
Michelle,
all
did you
Seinfeld.
watch the live action or did you watch the anime?
It's animated. I didn't know there was live
Wait,
action.
there's a live action too?
I believe there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was cute because, he genuinely wants to take her to the ocean and show her the world. Okay. It didn't seem at all creepy. I don't know where people are getting this from. But if anything, she was kind of a bitch to him. And obviously,
but
she
if
has her
anything,
own...
this guy's not judgmental. He's not superficial.
He actually said
right?
he loves her and he cares about her.
He's not superficial about this.
Yeah, like you guys found a way to twist some guy who was willing to love a girl in a wheelchair because it's like a male's fantasy. That's no male's fantasy to like find a girl in a wheelchair he has to push around his whole life. Like it was actually kind of sweet. So I thought it was well
Michelle.
animated.
Some guys might hang out at the VA
Boxing
or something.
Helena, we know.
Well, there's always
them.
a few
Boxing
of them,
Helena.
but this
Yeah.
doesn't seem like that one, right?
I thought it was
Boxing
touching old school.
Helena.
Yes, it was innocent.
What was that about? He put her in a box. Forrest
know.
Whitaker.
I guess-
I remember that.
Yeah.
What was that?
No
What's in
arms
the
and
box?
legs.
What
Yeah,
was
it's an
that?
old movie from the
Did
90s.
he hobble? Yeah, Forrest Whitaker's in it, right?
Maybe it was that girl. Yeah. Anyway, so this is not Boxing Helena, but
But
yeah,
did he put her in the box?
maybe he cut
What?
off her arms and legs so she couldn't leave. Maybe.
Oh,
You
is
know.
that what?
I don't know.
Oh, that's awful.
But yeah, there's a twist in the story. Something happened, and I thought it was sweet. He gives up a lot to be with her because he truly loves her, and
No.
yeah, I didn't think it was evil and
Not
whatever
Forrest
else.
Whitaker.
The shit was people were saying online, or angry women were saying online, that it was like fetish porn or something like that, or a male fantasy. I thought it was sweet, and I do like a lot of like the anime like stories. They're always like outlandish, but they're very symbolic, and so I like the way they tied in the title. Like the titles in all the anime stuff I was checking out always cracked me up because I did a Crunchyroll trial once again. I'm looking around and look, Crunchyroll is very appealing because it's like finding a new streaming service and you don't know anything about any of the stuff, right? And the colors are pretty and the titles are insane, like and long, like The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really, Really Love You, or I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Maxed Out My Level. And it's like they tell you what it is kind of in the title. And it's just like this whole weird world that I'm kind of like, well, I could see how people could get super into this. Like, it doesn't grab me, but like, I kind of love doing this once or twice a year to step into this world or whatever. So I did also watch some other stuff, like just quickly, Apothecary Diaries.
I just want to just put a period on my thing.
Okay.
The weird game with Forrest Whitaker was Crying Game, not Boxing Helena.
Yeah, that's a little something different. That's a little surprise.
I don't remember what that was, but is that the
that's
tuck? Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I did watch the Apothecary Diaries because Fork said I should check it out. And I thought it was cute because I like herbalism and alchemy in games. So I watched a couple of episodes of that. But I did check out something which is also controversial. It's Berserk from the 90s, the animated series. I know there was other stuff, but this is the like animated series from the 90s. And it was based off of a manga where there's
this
like
is controversial?
Well, yeah. Okay,
people
so
are loving this.
Basically, there is a scene in the game. I'm sorry, in the series and in the comic, where like a demon dude like has his way with a woman, and like the guy she's with at the time has to watch, and he doesn't want to. He's being held against his will, and it's very graphic, and it's very traumatic, and it's very dark. And I didn't think like it was glorifying it in any way. I thought it was like the scene was like very emotional, very intense. It shows you like the anger and the pain that like Guts is going through having to see this. And I thought like it was just like not everything that deals with dark adult themes has to be some like controversy. Like how could they show that?
Well, no, it's
like,
putting you in the position to feel the same feelings. Yeah,
exactly. So you feel this guy's anger, you feel her pain. And you just end up like caring for the characters more because they're going through like this crazy shit or whatever. So Guts has a really big sword. They're like a part of the same band. And well, yeah, I didn't see his penis, but he has a really big sword. And that's like an anime trope or like, like I play Monster Hunter, so I know about the big weapons, right? And it always looks cool. Final Fantasy, yeah. Like
insanely large.
I'm sure there are a lot of them who are like inspired by this because he has a really, really big sword. And I like a big weapon, okay? So I don't know. I just thought that like once again, I had heard about this, like, oh, this scene, they're glorifying like violence against, like you get all that weird stuff. Like they're not glorifying shit. Like it's a dark, emotional scene that makes you feel for the characters and kind of makes you want to see
the weirdos are the ones glorifying it because they're the ones pointing it out.
So Michelle, this takes place in medieval Europe.
Sort of, yes, and I like medieval stuff. So I did actually kind of like this series. Like,
does it feel like an Excalibur or something? Or
I mean, maybe they're part of like the Band of the Hawk or something, and like this kind of group that is on a mission to protect. And there's demons once again, very like because the guy, he's sort of like a demon dude, femto or whatever that. Whatever. I think if you say the RAPE word, like you get like demonetized. I don't know. So I don't even know if I could say that. But the demon guy who has his way with her, like there's some weird shit going on. It's not like based in like, medieval France or something like realistic. It's still weird.
The creator stated that Berserk's dark fantasy drew inspiration from Conan the Barbarian, the film, and Excalibur.
Okay. Well, yeah. Look, I kind of like this. I thought once again, like, I'm not frightened by adult content, and people that get very weird about this sort of stuff, and they automatically go to some weird place, like it's celebrating
nowadays
that.
It's accessible to all, and young people are watching it, and people are getting.
Is it because it's a cartoon?
Over it.
Is that
apparently
why?
When it was the comic, it was a big thing too.
Yeah,
like I think people were like, "Ooh, that's too much. Don't show that." I mean, there was an old movie that showed this with Monica Bellucci back in the day that also got some of that. I forget the name of it, but it was like the most famous scene that shows this. And how could they do this? It's like. They're also just like, I don't know, you should be able to tell any story you want. And even like in a horror movie, like you're running over children and like doing weird shit in horror movies. Can you not show that? Like people need to separate reality from like whatever, like a story that's being told. And I think if you have a problem doing that, you're the one disconnected with reality, not the people who created it or not the people watching it. So anyway, I thought the big taboo scene actually made you feel for the characters and feel like this guy was like going through hell. And so I don't know, I kind of liked Berserk, but it's definitely like heavy, and I think that's okay. I don't mind the themes in anime.
Art. It's
they're
fiction.
A bit more,
who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, It's so different than something we'd see, and I kind of think that's why people are attracted to it. Look, this stuff has been very popular in Japan for a while. I think right now in America and the West, things are very sanitized. It's not even like the woke shit. It's just like it's also just become so sanitized and blah, and like not willing to take chances, not willing to be dark, not willing to take a risk, and then we get.
Because you're going to give someone anxiety, and you're going to make them. There's a disclaimer
and
because there's a spider in the kitchen.
Like we are seeing such a rise in the popularity of the culture and anime here in this country. I think that's why people 25 and under or 30 and under, whatever, are like super attracted to this sort of stuff.
But what's funny though, and listen, I haven't been to Tokyo, but it's my understanding that they're all very reserved, right?
Right.
The society
you can't
there,
say
right?
This causes violence or something like that,
right?
Because look
but
at
is this is this some kind of release?
I think it's become popular here because it's a result of the condition of this type of stuff that's being made here now. Like there is, I don't know, like sure there's a lot of weird like harem anime. Like there's a lot of stuff with guys with a lot of girlfriends. I'm just going to tell you that. Okay, so there's a lot of male fantasy stuff there, but Josie the Tiger and the Fish was not that, and like you can't just apply that to everything.
It sounds like a good dude who's not like
it was like a good dude
just likes her soul.
Really did
like
like
her.
Story. Exactly. And I see this like broad brush being painted on all of anime and like all the stories, and it's like, no, that's just for perverts, or that's just for sickos, or that's just for people who are depressed. It's like, no, this is a whole art with a whole breadth of topics and stories and like something for everybody. So I don't know, I enjoyed just kind of poking around once again. But that's kind of what I watched.
Some of the best writing in all of animation and movies is within anime. It's incredible.
It's like anything else. You can't just say all of it is bad. Like there's some actual like really, really good stuff out there, and you'll find something that appeals to you. And it's definitely art at the end of the day. All right, John, what did you watch?
Yeah, I want to add too, because every time we've done this, I'm shocked at how great the stuff is that I've watched on Crunchyroll is. Like it's like legit good, like the writing, the animation, like the whole package, right? And the show I watched, Solo Leveling, is no exception. Like, and I think I actually read some stuff online. I think some people in the chat said that it sucks, right?
I mean, Fork, I think, said he didn't like it, but I know it's very well.
But I
loved.
saw like a thread on Reddit too when I was
Yeah.
researching the series.
Yeah.
People saying that it's overrated.
It
Other
could be
people saying
overrated
they
because
love
it's
it.
so popular. Yes.
Yeah, but you're always going to get those camps,
It was
right?
just mega viral. It was like
Yeah.
taking over the anime scene.
Yeah. So I watched the first 2 episodes. I kind of went into this with the game, the whole setup of this. But you have like this party of real world people going into these dungeons, trying to kill the monsters, get to the boss, kill the boss, getting all the loot, and then getting out. And if they kill the boss, they close the portal. And then if they don't, the monsters come into the real world, right? And it's become a big business in this kind of fictional modern Tokyo or something, where all these companies are making guilds and recruiting these hunters. They call them hunters. It's not like a class. There's like healers, there's tanks and all that within the hunter.
Yeah, they're called hunters in a lot of various games. Like FromSoft game Bloodborne calls them hunters. I played an unholy hunter. Like a hunter's kind of another thing with S class, and the class is very
Relates
Japanese.
to what I watched as well
Monster
with Attack
Hunter.
on Titan. It's the same tropes. You
Monster
got the people
Hunter is
protecting
class
the
S
people.
rank, and you're a hunter. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very
They're all hunters, regardless of what
Yes.
your class is within
Exactly.
that. Right. And so, like, there's this healer girl that's in love with you. You're the class E hunter that, again, is, trying to get loot so you could pay for your mom who's on life support in your sister's college, your dad's dead, whatever.
Oh my God.
And so this healer girl is kind of trying to protect him, and she's like getting pissed off because he keeps like, doing stupid shit in the dungeon, and she's got to heal him constantly. Sounds familiar.
Yeah. We're always yelling at dudes not to hurt themselves. It's true.
So like there's that whole dynamic with them two. I'm not going to ruin the end of episode 2 because it was kind of like there's something that goes on where they're in a dungeon. They thought they killed the last boss. Okay. I'll just tell you this. And they're all saying, well, we should leave. We killed the boss. They're like, no, but what's this big cave right here that keeps going? They're like, no.
It's a portal.
They're like, no, we killed the boss. They're like, well, there's a dungeon within this dungeon. We should keep going. Right. And they vote, if they should keep going down this dungeon, and they all decide greedily to keep going, even they should just take their wins and leave. And they basically get into this trap at the end, and it's almost like a murder mystery party, this dungeon that they get into, that they're locked in. And it was suspenseful. It was violent. People are getting decapitated, arms cut off, cut in half. Mm-hmm. It's a very fucking violent show. But the writing is terrific. The English dub is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it than what I've said already with the game and this, but I'm all in on this shit. Like, I want to watch more. I'm definitely going to buy that game. Like, are you guys interested in this at all?
I was meaning to
added
watch
to my
an
wish
episode
list.
or two because I had heard so many things about it. Like Jedi said, it won the Crunchyroll Anime of the Year last year. So it's kind of good to just be up on stuff, like to be aware of it. I don't like when there's something in popular culture that I haven't experienced at all. So
well, that's the thing too. Like, we're so like shielded from this, really, or just if we're not paying attention to Crunchyroll and just seeing a random ad on my Fire TV, like I wouldn't know this stuff exists because I'm not like in these anime circles and stuff. Like
what people think is mainstream isn't, and what they don't get is mainstream is. Like more people have seen this probably than something you guys think is huge, and I think it's kind of good to be aware. Everything.
It's
exactly.
just, but it's
starting to bleed into the Western society. Yeah.
There are no more
shocking
shared experiences anymore. I get that.
I know,
because
well,
there's
that's
so
a
much
bummer.
content.
Right.
But this is sort of a shared experience, I feel like, because so many, if you know, every person who likes anime has seen this.
Right. Yeah, I'm blown away by it, really. And I did a Crunchyroll trial subscription, just pro tip. If you do it on your phone, you can just do it with Google Play really easily if you have Android. Yeah. And then very easily cancel that instead of going on a website and shit.
Yeah. Big Dinner Fork says Dan to Dan should have been Anime of the Year. I've heard about that one too. I don't know what the hell that's about.
Which one?
I just heard about it.
Some weird things about
Dan
that one
to
going
Dan.
on, what you were talking about before, Michelle. But that could just be what somebody told me about it.
It could be,
Like,
I don't know.
Dan to Dan. I mean, the stuff that, listen, I really appreciate these Weeb episodes because it exposed me to One Piece, which I didn't know shit about till we did it. And that was something that I wanted to be part of my lexicon. So I know about One Piece, the fucking chainsaw arm guy.
Chainsaw Man or whatever.
Chainsaw Man.
You like that.
Like,
you were going to buy a plushie,
fucking,
remember?
Yeah, I know. I was looking at like a figure and shit. So like, this has paid off every time for me, where I've discovered
you have an
things.
Art background, and you've
I know, but like,
so this is
I
kind
just
of specialty
appreciate
too.
it. Like, Like One Piece, that shit's cool. Like that game I played was cool. The anime was cool. I don't know if that's a little more juvenile than this shit, but
Yeah.
I liked it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan, what did you do?
So about a year ago, I had some friends trying to get me into all this anime stuff. And I was like, I had these preconceived notions like you were talking about. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was a little strange. I didn't know if I would like it. And they got me to, well, actually, Dead by Daylight had a collaboration with Attack on Titan. So they had a bunch of skins and cosmetics in that game, which I did fork out the money for some of them. But they were like, watch the anime. Watch the first season. And if you don't like it, just don't worry about it. Whatever, move on. So I think it was about a year ago, I watched the first, 6 episodes, and it kind of got busy. I didn't end up continuing it. So I picked it back up and watched a couple episodes, and I think I'm going to finish this first season because it did hook me originally. Now, this show is about a young kid named Eren Yeager. He's in a town or a district, I guess you would call it, where they have these massive walls to protect them from titans, these massive beings, creatures, or whatever.
But they're like naked men
they're like
that walk
skin,
like babies. I watched an
they look
episode
like
of this.
muscles, and like you see their skin, and they're massive.
Like the
and these
Wukong
people-
baby?
No, not necessarily. These things, if you look at a picture of a colossal titan in Attack on Titan, that's what they look like, a human without their skin. They're
See,
just
everybody in the
muscle and
chat is
big
like, Attack
teeth.
on Titan is the best. It's the best. It's the best. This is one where I couldn't get into it. I watched 2 episodes, and I feel like this is where like the male-female divide comes in. Like there's a lot of
this
battle
looks
scenes
like
and
some
like
anatomy thing in a science class, this guy.
So
Yeah.
if you take that
Right?
out of the picture, and you will get used to it, trust me, because I did, and I had the exact same thoughts.
okay,
This
it gets
show
good.
is wicked. Yes, the storytelling is amazing. I'm not even done the first season, and apparently, like, it just gets better, and it's already been so good in these first few episodes. I don't know how many I have left. I don't think there's that many in the first season.
I just didn't like
25. So I'm about halfway. And apparently it gets freaking crazy. But you're basically you're following this group of kids that are trying to survive and learn how to train. And there's these groups, these regiments that take on the Titans and protect the district from it. Very cool writing. Apparently the animation gets better in season 2. Like this was just like, it's a very older style. It's like from 2014, I believe.
That's not
when
that
they
long
first
ago
made
for
it.
animation.
Yeah. No, not that old, but
Yeah.
it is. The newer stuff came
Right.
out like, and it's apparently the animation is incredible. I do really like it. I think I'm going to finish it, at least season 1, and if that hooks me, then like my friends were telling me, I'm going to continue.
Yeah, that's
This
the
is-
overwhelming thing. You find a show that has like 6 seasons, like 500 episodes. You're like, what
Yeah.
the hell? 'Cause-
Especially with anime, there's so many
Yeah.
episodes. Like,
Yeah.
where's One Piece? There's like 1,000 episodes.
I
in
know.
that show.
That's kind of cool.
that's
though, 'cause,
crazy.
You know, like John, I think you burned through all the Seinfeld episodes recently. It's kind of fun
Yeah.
when you find a new show to know you have all those episodes. So
It is nice.
One
I am,
One Piece
looking
has
forward-
1,135 episodes.
yeah.
Holy
Badger says
crap.
you'd like One Punch Man. It's silly funny. I've heard about that show too. One Punch Man.
Definitely looking forward to see where this story goes.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I started with something as intense as this because it is intense. It is emotional when you get to know these characters and stuff. Really cool. I understand the hype around it now. And I'm assuming if any of the other ones like Solo Leveling and Berserk or anything like this, I will probably like those as well. So
I liked
it's cool.
how
It's
weird
opening
they
up my
are.
mind.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're so out. A lot of the things are so outlandish but they
Yeah.
always have some like background existentialism or symbolism behind them that they are like.
Yeah.
There's always like some
There's something-
spiritual, otherworldly.
I like things that make you think. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there's a lot of that out there
Would
too.
you
like-
please watch Spirited Away?
I haven't watched
Why?
that either, so maybe I will.
Because it's a fucking masterpiece.
I mean, it does look pretty.
That's all
'cause-
I've ever heard from people that bring it up. It's a masterpiece. That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally, I don't know anything
I mean, my
about
kids
it.
grew up with that shit, and the thing is, they watched the Japanese version with English subtitles,
Yeah.
so they never knew what it was like with English dub or even the music change in some of these movies.
It's good. Teaches them to read.
Yeah,
I hear
Yeah.
that's the way to watch most anime.
I
too,
agree with
is
that. Like I watched
Subtitles.
Yeah.
I watched Squid Games accidentally with the Korean.
I remember you talking about
Yeah,
this.
I didn't even know there was English dub. I watched it with subtitles, and I don't think I would have liked it the other way.
If it's good
No.
voice acting, like Free Run that I watched
Yeah.
last year was pretty good. There were
Right.
a lot of famous voice actors. I think Laura, whatever was in it. Like
Yeah.
if it's good American voice actors, I'm good with that. But a lot of times they're terrible. Like the Cyberpunk, one.
Right.
It was
Yeah,
just better.
I've heard the Attack on Titan one's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Is Spirited Away the one with the horse?
With the pig. What do you mean?
The pig.
No face.
Is there an anime movie from Ghibli with a horse?
Probably.
I swear to God there is one, and I've been recommended. I just don't know the name.
But yeah, I do like.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, that one. I've been told to watch that with my fiance because she likes horses. It was funny when you brought up the horse girl thing at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
how did you know I dated horse girls?
I thought he was talking about like fat chicks. I thought it was a fat chick joke. It could have been. Princess Mononoke.
I think it was Howl's Moving Castle. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, that was good. I'm glad we watched something too and just didn't play stuff because once again, I think we all always enjoy this, and people listening, sorry, I know it's not always everybody's. Some people have the anime taboo and they'll skip this episode, but I think they're missing out. All right, so let's move on to some news. What's going on out there, John? What did you want to talk about?
Crybabies.
Well, okay. I mean, listen, we're all exhausted by this, but what?
Are you that exhausted, John? Are you that exhausted seeing these people go through this traumatic event in their life?
What I'm exhausted by is all these people that there's something going on, right? Obviously, with video game employees are somehow like a rare, precious something.
It's a protected class.
It's a protected class.
Yes,
okay,
if you work
thank you.
In a gaming adjacent field, you are a special flower who is always wonderful, always right. And the big evil corporations and executives are always wrong and at fault. And it's time we should be angry. I think we should all be angry. Right. And that's what people are doing on X.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying Microsoft sucks, Xbox is dead. Over and over and over again. But we're not, and Game Pass is evil, okay?
Yep.
Game Pass needs to go away. Game Pass is ruining the game industry.
This is because they invested in AI. This is why this is happening. The world's most profitable company, their stock went up.
Not seeing is PlayStation Plus good, okay?
Yep.
Sony canceled Concord, good.
Right. Last year, PlayStation laid off 8% of their workforce. I didn't see any of this crying. I didn't see any of this crying.
Good.
So multiple hundreds of people, I saw a guy say, Luke Plunkett, he used to write for Kotaku, all you need to know, wrote multiple hundreds of people. That's not even a real fucking number. Figure, give us some facts. Were fired from Microsoft, and why didn't they just fire Phil instead? You know, his salary could have paid for these people. First of all, some of these games were in development for a decade and they had nothing to show for it.
Right.
What you saw of that Joanna Dark game was a lie.
You hire me to build your house, okay?
Yes.
I'm sitting on your money, basically, okay?
Yes.
You've given me whatever. I'm building $1 million.
6 months.
I'm making $1 million house for you. You gave me all $1 million, and I decided to take my sweet ass time. Okay, year 1 goes by. Okay, fine. You're an artisan. I trust you. Year 2. All right, well, the porch looks pretty good. Year 3, I'm not sure about the pool. Year 4, what the fuck's going on? Year 5, are we ever going to finish this fucking house?
Year 6, your structural engineering is wrong. This wall can't support this load bearing. And you guys are fired.
But here comes year 7, Michelle. Hey, listen, I underestimated this. I actually need more money to finish this. Right?
Look, I'm not, cut your losses. We don't, Phil could have, no matter what they do, they would have been blamed. I think he prevented another red fall. This wasn't even Phil's decision. This came down to
you said, you win.
We don't know.
If you win, you lose. It's a lose-lose. It comes out and it flops, or you fire them before it comes out, and you maybe save a bit of money and move on.
Right.
Yeah. And I think Sony had the biggest balls of all, and they didn't really get a lot of slack about this or grief. Like when they fucking shut down Concord after like 2 days, that was the ballsiest fucking thing I'd ever.
Yeah,
that
was
the most. That was the most cutthroat alpha
PlayStation fired
mood.
8% of their workforce, and nobody said peep. Microsoft fires
Michelle,
500
that
people
Concord
who didn't make a game.
studio full of virtuous people were destroyed in 1 second.
Maybe
no
they
one
were doing
said
bad
shit
work.
about that.
I mean, look,
but that was the biggest alpha baller move that I've ever seen anyone do.
Going on at Microsoft.
Yeah.
If you have been personally impacted by being laid off at Microsoft, of course, we wish you the best. But people out there acting like they care about you, they don't. And my DMs are open. I'm here for you.
Right.
Tell me all about it. They're ambulance chasers and they're pathetic, and gaming seems to attract weak-minded, pathetic losers, and they're all unraveling now on the internet. So
I don't think we should have done the podcast tonight, guys.
You know what?
Of these people.
I was shaking.
I can't believe I did this.
Because of Forever 21. I couldn't sleep
shaking.
about this.
UPS laid off some people. I never want to look at a package again.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
I can't wear that strapless bra now.
No.
Forever 21.
My next delivery coming from UPS. What if it's a Forever 21 delivery through UPS,
From UPS.
John? You're a double sinner.
Double dumped.
That's right. Yeah, Joanna and the Perfect Dark.
Listen,
that was a lie. It was an
that was all vaporware bullshit. It never looked... And nothing ever looked good.
And created nothing. And one of the guys came out and lied. He's like, there's no way this was canceled because of a creative thing. I played the demo. It was the best thing I've ever experienced. Dude, you didn't play shit. You're lying. And you have no
so
clue
the
what it
Perfect Dark
was.
demo didn't exist. It was nothing.
It was just vaporware fluff on rails of her wall.
There might have been a demo, but here's the thing.
It wasn't a true demo.
I am a Rare fanboy, okay?
Yes.
I worship Rare and I love Perfect Dark. I even thought that whatever trailer looked like dog shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That they released like 4 or 5 years ago. Okay. I was going to go along with it because I like Perfect Dark, but it's Perfect Dark in name only at this point, right?
And do people under 30 know what Perfect Dark is?
Right.
Maybe Microsoft is saying this project just isn't going to work out. We gave them time. They didn't know what they were doing with it. They didn't produce anything.
And if it was good, it would have came out.
Right. But you know what? My silly podcast doesn't matter compared to the developers' actual jobs. But for my part, I'm not really feeling like celebrating anything on Unlocked episode 700 next week. And then again today, a picture of his dog. Sorry, Ryan. I'm going to call you out again. Not you, Ryan, but Ryan McCaffrey. I'm prepping tomorrow's Unlocked right now, and it's depressing. It's just so devastating after these Xbox layoffs. So here's a pic of Lily the Labrador to try to help cleanse your timeline. I feel bad for this Labrador that her dad is such a little bitch. Okay, stop crying online for other men's jobs. Okay, like we got to stop this. So
like I said, I worked in electrical construction. I got laid off every 3 months. But
did they
just
cry
picked
for
their
you?
asses up. No, nobody cried.
Nobody
for me.
cried. Nobody put
this
pictures
is what
of
I
their
said
dogs
before.
out there to cleanse your timeline like some sacred fucking Hindu ritual.
Listen, I've had the rug pulled from myself. I've been fucked over by other people.
I'm here for you, John. My
but
DMs
here's
are open.
Rude, man.
But I pulled up my bootstraps and I moved on.
Did you?
Okay.
Did someone's open DMs help you do that?
It's bad.
We should have a moment of silence tonight for these strangers we don't know.
I don't think you understand.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to find another job.
No. Microsoft on your resume, you're fucked. You're literally fucked with Microsoft on your resume.
You worked with that asshole?
People want Microsoft to shut down. They want Game Pass to be canceled. There is like extreme shit out there, and I just don't get any of it. Why do we care what's going on as a consumer? Just buy what you want and stay out of it. Support it if you want, don't if you don't. Don't cry on the internet. Are you okay, John? Okay. Badger, give him some time. This is John's moment of silence for the job he lost in 1999.
I wanted.
What?
They had.
What happened?
The skinny jeans of Forever 21.
John, nobody cares about the Forever 21 firings or the UPS firings.
I wanted
it's
the skinny
gaming.
jeans.
That's what I'm saying. Gaming culture is sick. That's why
I don't
nobody wants to
understand.
work
I
in
wanted
it.
the skinny jeans. They would look so good with the flats. They would.
The planet is dying.
They
The
would
government hates us. The animals are leaving.
They would look good with the flats. Michelle,
John, you have to
know
let
it.
go of Forever 21. I remember it when I was in high school. All those old whores were always shopping there. Okay. Have you moved on yet, or do you want to tweet some pictures of your dog to help cleanse my timeline? You want to do a little voodoo
Here's
ritual to cleanse my
dog,
timeline.
April. Look at her. Look at April.
May you remember happiness on this dark day with Microsoft firing tens of people on a game that was never coming out. Please remember this. Please share this moment with us.
Michelle,
John, are you okay?
Old school.
Are you okay?
I can't really do it.
Can we get through this episode?
I don't know.
My DMs are open. My DMs are
I
open.
thought I could. That's a t-shirt, by the way.
My DMs are open. If you
I thought we could do this.
I think we can
okay,
get
John.
through. I think we can get through. Then we're gonna. You are mocking the loss of jobs of other people. No, I'm mocking the people acting like they're having nervous breakdowns and using therapy.
I got
language
news for
over
you.
it, okay,
It's called business.
it's called
Life.
business.
It's called life.
People are in these relationships with these companies. They think they're their friend. I'm seeing Phil, you betrayed me. I trusted you like they're your ex-fucking boyfriend, okay?
Right.
Phil is not your friend. Microsoft's not your friend.
Right.
If you have brand loyalty to a company, you're an idiot, okay? If you're a console fanboy, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Move on. Consume what you want.
I know. I mean, listen, I lost a job and I was told, not personal, it's just business.
And did you cry about it on Twitter?
No.
Did you see others crying for you on Twitter?
It's just business.
It's just business. It's strictly business. Yeah.
So if you don't want the rug pulled,
Yep.
destiny
Don't stand on a rug.
is not a matter of chance.
That's right.
It's a
Get
matter
off
of
the
choice.
rug. That's right. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it.
That's right.
Okay? That's right.
It's a matter of choice.
That is so inspirational.
I
It's a
know. I
matter
hope
of
you're all
choice.
inspired. Hang in there. Okay. Hang in there. Because there's a
Yeah,
picture
he's
of
live
Lily the
on his
Labrador
keyboard, the actor.
to cleanse your timeline
That's right.
of the depression out there, the horrible genocide of Microsoft workers that's been going on out there that we all must bleed for. Anyway, I want to
I
read
feel
this
like we're
story.
about to lead into a COD montage.
No,
right
I'm
now.
about to lead into this. So, Mio,
I think this is the best one that so far.
thank you for subscribing, Shabam. I know it's a very dark day, but we're going to get through this. So this games journalist says, with recent news of the Xbox layoffs, gaming is going through a crash. This is the video game crash of 2025, he said.
No, it's not,
That's what he
fuckheads.
said.
Listen, let me explain something to you.
John, he said it's a crash.
Listen, there's a quote that I've loved my whole life, and
Okay.
I'm going to butcher it a little bit. But
All right.
large teams don't ever do anything unique or creative. They make vanilla bullshit, okay? And I paraphrase that. And that's where we are right now. We have these large teams. They're conflicted. Everyone has opinion. And it's gotten so big that they're making these compromised products that are very risky
There's
to release.
large teams at Nintendo, though, and Sony. And
No,
they're
there's
doing
small
everything.
teams making that, though. But I'm just saying that the gaming industry, in a way, I feel like because everyone has an opinion, everyone has a voice, it's
I don't
actually
think that's it
ruining.
at all, John. I think that
I
the
think
West.
it is.
I think the West gaming is in trouble. And this article in the note
Yeah,
at
but
the end,
if you
he got
look at
so much shit, he had
Wukong
to
and
say this.
Stellar Blade,
Well,
those
yes,
are
the
small
West.
teams.
It doesn't matter though. It's an East-West thing too.
I've said
'Cause
this on this podcast
he
for
says
years.
even in this note-
design by
Of course,
dictatorship.
but there are still small
okay?
teams making shit
That's
games here,
what
too.
makes good goddamn shit. And I've said this probably
Right.
10 years ago. I said, listen, if I'm a
Right.
dude that wants to make some chick in a latex outfit with big fucking boobs and
Yeah,
with
but
a
you're not
sword,
going to do that here because
I know,
it
but
wouldn't be.
that I should be able to do that.
But
And if
anyway,
people like
I
it, they
agree,
like
John.
it.
You
Let me
should
get
be
back to
able
this
to do that.
Article,
But that's Stellar
okay?
Blade. That's
Right,
that's
right.
that's Bayonetta.
But
That's whatever.
Let me
Like,
wrap up this article, and
Yes.
you can continue your rant, okay? Because
Yes,
people came
yes.
down at him and said, this is not a crash. Look at all these things that are up. And he said, this collapse affects predominantly Western industries and studios. Japan games and studios
I
seem,
know,
shut the
because
fuck
of the
up.
culture.
Japan games and studios seem to be doing just fine, if not better than ever than the 2010s. Even
Because of
Konami
the
is coming
culture.
back. Nintendo is at their peak. FromSoft is emerging to be one of the biggest giant studios ever. Square Enix may be struggling. Korea and China are actually on the rise with several successful games and
The
many more coming.
culture.
And I've been saying
It's the
that
culture.
Japan,
It's the
I think,
culture.
is not
It's the
doing as well as
culture.
Korea and Japan. So yes, this is not just a big, small studio thing. It's also the culture
No,
of Western
it's
gaming.
the-
I think the talent has left the fucking industry here.
Okay, but
And
this
so
is the
get
thing, though.
over it.
The
Yeah.
large teams, okay,
Yes.
because of the current culture climate, have to adhere to that
Of course.
climate because
I
they're
don't-
But it's
because
not
they're so
just
big.
that, John. It's not just
I don't
that.
necessarily think that the good devs and the good creative minds are gone. I think they're just taking less risks. And
Because of the
West-
culture.
A lot
Because-
of people
because
in the
there's too
West
many
have
people with
fled
a
the
damn
gaming industry. They
keyboard.
don't want to work under that sick culture here.
I
The
want a
culture is
sexy
sick
woman
here.
character. No,
It's weird.
That's
It's been
for the
taken over by
patriarchy.
activists.
The
And
patriarchy.
nobody
We
wants
can't
to work
have
in
that.
that sort of environment. They don't
Okay,
want to work
so
in it. They
what
can
I'm
make
saying
double
is
the amount and
accurate.
work half the time in another industry.
Okay,
they don't
so
want to do it
another
anymore.
in another country where they're not captured by the culture, they can get away with whatever they want. In this country, the large groups cannot because they're captured by the culture. So only the small teams here, the indie games,
what
the
small
Steam
teams
games
here?
make a
What
difference.
What small teams
Yes.
here? What's come out of America with a small team?
The indie
Claire-
games, the
Balatro?
indie games, the
Claire
indie-
Obscure
okay.
is European.
Not America.
Yeah,
Well, it's
that's what I'm
French,
saying.
but it's the same idea. They left Ubisoft, which was a giant fucking machine full
Sure.
of opinions, and they went on to make the game they wanted to
But
make.
there are big
And-
studios in the East still doing well.
But Michelle, here's what's happening.
So I'm saying it's not only
the number
that.
of indie games that are, discussion worthy are off the charts compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
Massive.
Like when we started this podcast,
the tools are easier. The
just and the thing
distribution is easier.
When we started this podcast, we only talked about big games. It's true. Okay, games that you could buy at Target and GameStop and Walmart and rent at Blockbuster
now are considered big games.
I
because
know
of that. The big AAA titles are flopping.
We would never talk about an idle clicker when we started this podcast.
Yeah, but I think you're missing the point, though. I mean, how many employees are there at Capcom? They're doing better than ever. Like,
but
it's
again,
not
they're
just
not captured by the culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's also a Western culture thing, not just the size of the studio. It's sort of a twofold
they're
situation.
captured by their culture. Yeah, they have their own.
So these people
Like
saying
CC
that there's
Games
a collapse,
says
there is a collapse. It's changing because it's a global market and there's a more choice and more options, and people don't want to play shit anymore. And guess what, Ubisoft? You're making shit over and over, and we're tired of playing the same game with a different skin. I think that's what's happening.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah,
that
because they're
Microsoft
French Canadian and they're fucking.
I
mean, what's going on up there? I mean, that's what's
I
going
don't know.
on.
What are they doing up there, Ryan? You're Canadian.
They're making Dead by Daylight. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, okay.
That's about it. And Putin.
Look, it has to happen. It's just, you know what? As
It does.
consumers, we win. There are more options than ever. Big studios, small studios, studios from all over. And I think gamers overall are an entitled group. The journalists feed into
100%.
that. You know, like the journalists are just baiting these angry fanboys on either side. And I don't think they really care. They don't really care about the people who lost their jobs or the industry at all. They just want clicks. I think some of them are probably disturbed enough to like really be impacted by this.
But to sit here and say that you can't sleep over this, is fucking asinine.
It's
You say the gamers win. Now that brings up the other topic with the whole Xbox Game Pass thing. Gamers are the only ones that are cared about in this whole scenario. We were talking about in the Discord this week about how Xbox Game Pass is ruining gaming for everyone. What do you think about that?
It's not ruining it for me.
Because like you are, as a developer, you are not required to put your game on Game Pass. A lot of them have come out, like Claire Obscure developers, and said we wouldn't have been able to get this made without Game Pass. We got an injection of cash. It was, it caused a lot of people to buy our game. I often do it. I'll try a game on Game Pass, then I'll buy it on Steam. The Redfall guy, I forget which one, came out and said Game Pass is not sustainable. It was terrible. You made
then
Redfall.
Don't do it.
You made Redfall. I don't give a shit about anything you have to say. You're a talentless hack, and you're now, like John, you said, a runaway nun always speaks ill of the convent, right? I'm not going to listen to the guy's game who was canceled because it was bombed, and it should have been canceled like long ago. Like, how did Redfall get made? You know what? Phil was too soft. And then when Microsoft is harder and shuts these games down, then they get yelled at for that too. I have to defend Microsoft here where it's like, let them worry about their business. Like, we don't know the state those games were in. These people are acting like experts. They did it because it was, even though it was a great game and these hardworking, talented people had this great game, they closed them down because
they need cash for AI.
They needed cash for AI.
Yeah, okay.
That's why they did it.
Yeah, why don't you look at their fucking market cap for Microsoft?
I don't think they closed the games.
But here's the thing, though.
You do.
Like shutting down, fucking Perfect Dark is not going to make a fucking difference for Microsoft's like market cap and shit, right? Like it's
Guess
not.
What? If Perfect Dark came out and bombed, these same motherfuckers would be saying, "Why did this game get made? How could this be made? Xbox is trash."
Yeah.
It's like you can't win. You just can't win, and that's the industry we're in. So you guys out there, if you're impacted by this and you're sad,
right?
I don't know how you're going to make it through life. Okay.
All right. Now, why we're talking about this? Okay, so. Everyone's saying Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead. They're putting their games on PlayStation. Wait, hang on. Let me. No, I'm seeing it every day.
You're saying it.
No, I'm not saying it.
The journalists are saying it too now, right?
So
Everybody's
listen. Okay, now listen.
Yeah.
Just let me get to this. Okay, so I'm seeing it everywhere. Xbox is dead. Xbox is dead. Why they're not going to make hardware? Some fucking woman says, "Oh, I was on the original team in fucking 2005, and they've lost their way." Right. So they're releasing games on PlayStation. Okay, we know money's in the software, not in the fucking box. Okay, that's the truth, right? So people are mad. They're putting the games on, Gears of War. And then what does Sony fucking do? We haven't even talked about this yet, Michelle. Helldivers is coming to fucking Xbox.
Oh, that's great though. People love that. That's
people
fine.
love that, right?
Yeah,
this is good this is good for the community. We have more players and everything.
Exactly.
And by the way, it's coming out the same day that Gears is going on PlayStation, which is LOL.
That's kind of funny.
So So why? So basically, Sony's sitting there going, you know what? Microsoft might be right about this, right?
Yes.
And there's a rumor, and I maybe confirmed that Last of Us, because there's some Last of Us compilation they're putting out with their story, where they're telling the story in order now with a
on PC
new
you can
release.
play in chronological order.
Yeah, so there's a rumor that might come out on Xbox, right?
Why wouldn't it? I think exclusives are dead. They're now all timed. There's really nobody wants to own 5 consoles anymore.
No, it's stupid.
PC and you know what Microsoft is doing is looking ahead. You know, you can hate Netflix. You can say it was bad for movies. Guess what? You weren't going to stop it because you took to Twitter. So I think
Michelle, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about this when Netflix took over. Okay, streaming movies in general, Amazon Prime, whatever, HBO Max. Were people crying about the Blu-ray guys that were making Blu-rays? like, did that ever happen?
I think it's a very specific to gaming thing. The gaming culture.
But why weren't we protesting to save the Blu-ray jobs at the Blu-ray factory? Like, why weren't we doing any of that? What?
No,
I think
it's
that's
just
a little.
It's what?
It's game developers.
Okay, okay. So
they don't care about factory workers.
Okay, you know,
it's the people that eat avocado toast they care about.
Let's use Spotify as an example. Okay.
Okay, I love Spotify.
The music industry has been decimated for artists. Period.
Has it, or are they making more than ever? Because they have exposure, more people.
As someone that releases albums on Spotify at a very small scale, I'm making nothing.
They may be making less overall on the song plays, but they're making more than ever. They're packing more concert venues. They're
advertisements.
advertising.
Well, sure, if you're a big name act, like, you know, whatever, Morgan
you would have
Wallen
never
or
been
something.
discovered before.
Right.
Overall, it's still good. And guess what? You can't stop it because you're angry on Twitter. I'm just tired of this activism. Like, you either like something and support it or don't. Like, the activism to try to shut things down or just try to spread like all this bullshit, it's just tiring. And I feel like right now Xbox and Microsoft are in the crossfire of this, like, but they're doing things that Sony did. 8% of their workforce, nobody said anything.
Sony canceled way more games than fucking Xbox.
Nintendo charges you for online service, like when you bought a new Switch 2 to get more FPS, you have to have an online service you pay for to get the FPS unlocked. Nobody says anything. I don't know. I think there is a Microsoft and an Xbox tax. Even though I'm a PC gamer, I don't give a shit what goes on. I definitely think there's a tax on Xbox and Microsoft, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's an American corporation and they're less likely to go after Japanese corporations. And
also, they're the second largest company in the world.
Yeah. So it's everything viewed through the lens of oppressor versus oppressor.
Which by the way, they're the second largest company in the world. Do you think canceling Perfect Dark is going to make a difference for their AI development?
Not whatsoever.
Like the money they are giving Perfect Dark is paying for someone's, fucking yacht gas,
they
right now.
They canceled it because they hadn't produced a game in like 5 years, guys. Like, you know what? They know better than us,
earlier,
right?
If you go to work and don't produce for a year, 2 years, they're going to fire you. Like, that's just it. And we can't be sad
and then 5 years later, after you put up with this, they ask for more money because they're whatever.
I'm going to let Microsoft handle it, guys. I'll play the games when they come out. I'll tell you if they're fun or not. I'm not going to lose
celebrate
sleep.
This.
Right.
Celebrate. We are one step closer to having Nintendo working with Xbox and getting those games on each other's consoles.
Well, it's funny you said that because remember Microsoft promised that Call of Duty is coming to the Nintendo?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's going to happen. Maybe next Call of Duty.
Sure it will happen on the Switch too. We will get something.
The next, at least Warzone.
Well, John, look at this. Sony President Hiroki Totoki says he wants to go. Sorry about his name. Wants to get aggressive in improving margins by growing first party with multi-platform PlayStation titles.
Oh wow!
In the past, we wanted to popularize consoles and other first party titles. Now we don't. We want to just make our games popular. That is what Xbox is doing, and it's good for gamers. You can play your game anywhere you want.
Right? Because they were the first ones to see it, or at least act on it. Right? So they're the ones with the arrows in the back, right? Because they're in the front.
And they kind of got their little toes in the water on PC, on Steam. Yeah. They're like, hey, we got a little extra cash here. Helldivers, we sold more on Steam than on PlayStation. Why don't we put this on Xbox too? Why not? This isn't 1992 where your mom would only buy you one console. I don't understand the brand loyalty and the hurt feelings.
I want to bring this up again too.
It's so weird.
The console wars began because the hardware was so different from console to console.
Yes.
It wasn't
My
easy.
version of Aladdin on the Sega Genesis was better than your Nintendo version.
It wasn't easy to port
game.
Port
they
shit.
Each had their own individual unique consoles. They built them both all three
their
of them
own
from the ground
their own
up
GPU, their own CPU.
Yep.
Yes.
If they even had a GPU, their own whatever. It was just the hardware was so unique to every system. The development kits were so today with Unreal, Unity, like I've dicked around with Unity and other shit. Like you pull down a menu, build this for Switch, build this for PC. It's a button, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter anymore.
And why
the
leave money
hardware's
on the
not-
table? Don't you care
Right.
about developers? I thought you guys cared. Okay, because there's 5 of them living in an apartment right now in Irvine. Don't you care?
Do you even know what Unreal is or Unity? Like that's where we are. And remember that Reggie biography, which by the way is excellent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like he basically said the Switch was a massive success because he went to his bosses in Japan and said, listen, we need to allow Unity and these other engines to come to the Switch. And they caved and said yes, and that's why the Switch
They
won.
definitely gained success from that, John. But have you
Yes.
seen the eShop, the state of the eShop,
Yes.
and the games that are on there?
Yeah, it's Steam.
No, it's Steam. Yeah, it's Steam. There's
Steam. And
anime
Reggie
slop and nudity and
Reggie did that.
But how else
Reggie-
can they compete with a Steam Deck
Great
if they
job,
don't have any
Reggie.
of the games? You can't
Yeah.
survive on exclusive alone anymore.
And
not
Reggie
anymore.
saw that.
You know?
He said, listen, you guys got to get off your high horse. You need to allow developers to use Unity and just pour shit to Switch.
yeah.
And then the Switch
and
one
guess
was
who
a
wins? People who
Yeah.
buy Switches can play more games, and
Right.
nobody's up crying about these things. So it's very weird. We're in a very weird kind of situation here. Culturally, I think gaming is sick, and the journalists are fanning the flames. What's happened is, Kotaku let a lot of them go. They're all trying to write their own blogs now. They're now working at a restaurant. And they're coming home from their shift angry, and they're writing about how, oh, this is terrible. We got to get together, band together, shut Microsoft down. How could Phil do this? It's like it's getting very personal for these people. And I think it's
Yeah.
a little bit weird. So next week, let's put this aside. Let's not talk about this. Let's
I
leave
agree
this to
with you.
rest. I want to move on.
I'm sick of this topic.
I'm sick of it.
I am
it's
too.
like nonstop, and it's so weird that I don't even want to
And
be a
it's
part of
taken
the
over my
conversation
timeline.
anymore.
I'm
Yeah.
so sad about it though.
No,
Why?
it's depressing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't go on. No, I can't go on.
I mean, I didn't leave my house today because of it.
Yeah.
I could barely get to work.
I had
today.
a
I
fucking
ate a
weighted
pint
blanket.
of Haagen-Dazs before
I-
the show.
Oh God, no!
But then I saw
no.
Lily the Labrador, and she cleansed my timeline. Thank you, Ryan. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. We hope you enjoyed our Weeb episode. We had a lot of fun. What do you guys think of the whole East versus West thing or Xbox? You can always come on down, share your thoughts in our Discord at videogameoutsiders.com. You can also win games from CD Keys every week. We're giving away Raidu. John loves that game. It's a fun anime game. It's a remastered. And you also get weekly bonus shows, the 20-year back catalog. You can check out our old Weeb eps as well if you support us in Discord. And I think that's it.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening and subbing and all that shit. Did I say snubbing? We'll see you very soon. Video Game Outsiders, out.
Got to motherfucker. I'm sticky like wet rice, hot like wasabi when I spice. Grab your body pillow, stick it in the middle. Sip your tea, turn off the light. We're living our best life because we're eating on the floor tonight. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I got a tummy full of ramen, running like Naruto. Got my skyline in the driveway, domo, arigato. Reading manga with the tentacles. Gonna see my neighbor Toto. Got a great body pillow, got a great body pillow, got a great body pillow. My neighbor Totoro's got a great body pillow, got a skyline in the driveway. A skyline in the driveway, got a great body pillow, got a great body pillow. Let's go!